Welcome back to the Artist Coaching Podcast, the podcast for artists who are serious about their music career. And today, for those who are watching, you can see we have a special guest because we have KURA in the house.
Okay.
Oh,
Welcome, man. Ralph is not here yet, at least. I'm not sure if he comes. It's always the question. But we're here with Jay, with me, and with KURA today. Thanks for being here, man.
Glad you guys to have me here. It's a pleasure. I know you guys for so long, so makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's oh look, there's
There
Ralph.
he is.
Hey, Ralph.
hey,
Yeah,
Ralph's there.
Yo, we're live already, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, good to have you here. You're tuning in from Lisbon, right? From
Yes.
Portugal.
Portugal. Yeah.
That's where you're born and raised.
Yes, sir.
Nice. How yeah, let's first get into it. Like, how did you we know each other from the past, as in the early EDM days. Can you tell a bit more about how you entered this whole scene, as in because for how long have you been doing this now?
Well, it's so long that I don't even remember. So, but I mean, I started out as a DJ first, and then after only after a producer. So I was just a regular resident DJ
Okay, in Portugal.
in Portugal. Yeah. So and back in the day, it was really tough to even think about being a DJ as a career or a profession. It was just I never thought about it. It was just I like to something that I liked, electronic music for as long as I remember as a kid. And then I started to try to learn alone how to mix records. And there was no, I believe when I started to DJ, there was no YouTube. It was like 2007, or it was just the early
Yeah.
days of
There
YouTube.
probably was YouTube, but it wasn't full with tutorials.
Yeah, no how to's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I learned trial and error, and it was yeah, just for the fun of it, nothing like, because nowadays when people start, they have a goal. Oh, I want to play this festival, or I want to do this and that. And back then when I started, there was no objective. It was just having fun
Yeah.
with music. Yeah.
And how did that change over time? As in, it always starts with fun. At least that's the idea I'm getting with all artists that I speak to. It always starts with this is what I love doing. It's my hobby. It's what I spend my time in. And somehow you wake up on one day and it's your job. Like, how did that go?
All of a sudden, you
Yeah,
wake up and
just yeah,
Yeah,
there.
for me, maybe it's a little bit different from not that it's special for or by any means, but it's a little bit different maybe from pretty much everybody else, because I was not I was never thinking of making it as a career. It was just gradually happening, and I didn't do anything specifically for that to happen. So I was just a regular resident DJ. I have no aspirations at the time to play at even at other clubs. I just wanted to be a resident DJ there at my
Yeah.
city, and to play long sets and to play the music that I like. And then people started to like my style of play. I didn't have any songs of my own, so they started to come to my nights to experience that, because I was splitting the night with other resident DJs. So he played the commercial part, and I played the at the time I was playing like minimal house. You remember those
Oh
times?
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
So
love Minimal House.
if
I
you
was
listen
playing
back
that.
to that music, it sounds
Yeah.
sometimes so weird. Like,
Yeah.
how could we even dance to this? But we did.
Oh, you never know if it's gonna make a comeback, right? You don't know.
Oh, yeah, it will in some sort of form, definitely.
Is it
But
is it making
sorry.
a comeback now? You mean or?
I really think so, because there's a minimal house trend right now. It's not the same as it was, but they call it the minimal house, that kind of Beltran kind of sound,
Okay.
the Brazilian sound.
Okay, and
So some
which
people,
one should we listen to if you want to get an idea of what you mean? Is there a
well,
certain track?
I would play something from Beltran, not the Smack Yo, because it's the most known one, but that's also kind of minimal, you know.
Okay, I'll look it up afterwards.
Yeah.
That was a fun era, to be honest. As Ralph said, like if you listen back to that music, it sounds like shit, but yeah, it was fun. It's
It's more progressive, more. I mean, it was cool. At the time it was great.
yeah. And you played that style of music, and then in like the late hours of the club, or
Yeah, yeah. I used to do from 3 to 6.
poof, this
Oh
graveyard
wow,
shift.
Yeah,
graveyard. Yeah.
yeah. So that was cool. And then like 2 years later, I felt like, okay, now the owner of the club is asking me to play a little bit more mainstream.
Hmm.
So I need to have kind of mashups, but I don't know how to make music or how to, even do something with the DAW. So that's when I started to mess around with FL Studio. And then I graphically it was a little bit I didn't really like it. And then I saw Logic and I saw like, okay, this is it. And I started to mess around with Logic.
Okay. So it was more like a visual thing. It just
Yeah,
didn't. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I think that's underestimated how much the visual aspect of the
Yeah,
DAW
man.
influences your choices and feeling of how something sounds.
Yeah.
For sure.
I
It's
think that
huge.
That's why I
also.
never tried Ableton because of that.
Oh yeah, I can
I
totally
tried
imagine.
Ableton, but I it's too like it looks too technical, and for me, then everything just sounds harsh. I can't really get like a warm sound while you have the exact same plugin, so it shouldn't make a
Yeah.
difference. But in my head, it's different. So
Strange, right? The, the
I
yeah,
the visual thing influences the overall perception of what we
yeah,
yeah.
hear
I
for
had
sure.
the
very
same
much.
struggles back then. I went from Cubase SX3 to Logic, and I couldn't replicate the same sound as I was building in Cubase while using the same plugins, like the same samples, and somehow it sounded less fat in
Yeah.
some kind of way. Took me about 2 years to get it there, and never still sounded shit.
What
But
what do people say is normally this was a myth probably, but back then they would say Logic sounds a little bit more clean. I
yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Yeah,
FL sounds a little bit more chunky and beats
yeah.
related.
And
But
Cubase
there,
was this rough,
but
like,
there is now the discussion. I've seen some TikToks about it that it is all in your head. That it actually
Yeah,
will sound the exact same. So that's
sure.
the funny thing. And I think Joey, when it comes to recreating stuff, recreating existing things, it is always very hard to catch the exact same vibe or sound. I've tried it multiple times. Like, oh, I'm gonna revive this project. No matter what you do, even if you choose the exact same presets, you cannot get it because you tweak a
yeah,
little EQ here and a little there and a little clap there. It's so subtle, but yeah, it is hard to recreate in
yeah, that's
general, I
true.
think.
Hey, and then you had to start making your own music.
Yeah, mashups and also an influence for me. I have to mention. I have to shout out this guy. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a old school Portuguese DJ and producer, which is his name is DJ Vibe. So this guy
Rings a bell.
made a huge song back in the day with a project that he had with Rui de Silva. So they were called Underground Sound of Lisbon.
Mm-hmm.
And they created this track called So Get Up. The guy screams, "So get up, forget the past, go outside and have a blast." I don't know if you don't know this one.
It's
Now,
catchy though.
Really, really old school.
Underground Sound of Lisbon. Oh, here
Yeah,
we go. Yeah.
so get
Okay,
up.
I'll check it out.
It's so good. So these guys were you know, the who opened the doors of dance music in Portugal. One of the guys.
Yeah.
So I saw an interview of this guy DJ Vibe on DJ Mag, the actual magazine back in the days, and he said favorite software, and he said Logic 9, and I said, okay, I have to download
That's
this.
it.
This is it. So that's why I
Influencer.
started with Logic, you
Yeah,
know.
influencer. Yeah,
Have to shout
exactly.
this out. And so yeah, I started doing the mashups and playing them live, and then all of a sudden the resident DJs of the top clubs in Portugal started to ask me, "Oh, can you send me this mashup that you made? I really like to play it and everything." And I said, "Yeah, cool." And then they started to ask the owners of certain clubs to have me there because they wanted to have the exclusives,
Yeah,
because
in the set.
they couldn't actually make the mashup, so they rely on me to send them and to
Oh yeah.
keep sending, so they,
Mm.
they would invite me. So that was the start of everything. Yeah.
Okay. And then you hopped on the EDM train in about 2012 ish, I
Yeah,
guess.
2012. Yeah, because I started to discover the Dutch culture musically, because we have like a relationship in terms of sounds. I would say because you guys back in the day you used to mix the African vibes, the
Mm.
bubbling, I would say,
Yeah,
with
bubbling beats.
this very Dutchy leads, and I was fascinated by it. The portamento kind of glide sound, the bleepy
Yeah,
thing, and I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
wow, this is so cool. And used to go to the forums. There was these guys like Vato Gonzalez,
yeah,
you know.
We even had a Portuguese dance number one with a Portuguese vocal.
Yeah,
which one?
Ritmo do
I
Flow.
think by Quintino.
Oh, Parapapa.
That's
Oh
Parapapa,
no,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Rampas Almas.
in Portuguese. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's Brazilian.
yeah.
I know who made it.
Yeah, I know. I know the guy who made it.
I know, made it too. Yeah.
Who, the remix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's me.
You did it?
Yeah, and but we also scored, me and Ralvero. We did a remix of Ritmo Dumo
Yeah, that
Flow or
was
Oh
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
Well,
was
it became
and
Dance
and
Smash here in Holland as well.
and
that was
Mastic Soul, is he from Portugal or was he from
he's
Yeah,
Brazil?
yes.
He's
he's
Yeah.
Portuguese.
Angola Portuguese. Yeah, I think both.
He had a
I
lot
feel
of
like
great songs back then as
we
well.
we here in Holland we call it the sneakers era, where like sneakers music was super
True.
big and like that kind of all
Forum.
the
Yeah,
festivals played that music. It's a lot of
Yeah,
that kind of influence from
yeah,
Portugal, from Africa, like the really a lot of drums, a lot of
yeah.
drum based music.
yeah,
Yeah, that was the era that I really started to, also Laid Back Luke was on the rise, so it was one of the guys, also Ralvero. I remember he made a big song. Also, I played in my shows a track that was like shows, I mean, as a resident DJ, of course, that was huge. I don't know why it made such an impact all over the country. It was, you remember Spoiled Brats, which was
yeah. That was
Robert,
Hardwell, right?
yeah, Hardwell and
And Frankie
Frankie
Rizardo.
Rizardo.
Yeah.
Yes, it had a track. It
Oh
was
yeah.
Bomba
Bomba.
Klats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that was such a sick song.
Yeah. So when I played that, it was like the crowd was like, they went nuts on
Yeah.
that song. So that's
Oh
why I wanted
wow.
to start to make these kind of songs.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Oh dude, you opened up a lot of memories.
This is
I'm
like
gonna
the JoeySuki flying high era, where he was flying high towards the burnout. But like that
yeah.
was the time where you were.
No, Bomba Klats was way before that. That was about like
Uh,
2010, I would say, 12-ish.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
early tens, yeah.
Yeah, that's early tens. I was still playing as a resident here as well when that track got out. I didn't know Robert back then, but I still remember that song and it was so different, as in it was such a catchy, simple song like fully Dutch sound.
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, it's funny. If I'm not sure if it's online, but if it is, people should look it up. It's called
That is
Spoiled Brats Bomba Klats.
Bomba
Oh,
Club.
it is. Yeah, it is online. 17 years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, and so you hopped onto the EDM train, and what I kind of feel, I've been checking your socials, and I've been kind of checking what you've been doing now. It kind of feels like a KURA 2.0
Hmm.
to me. Am I
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's been and probably Ralph feels the same, and also Jay, not specifically, but probably Ralph, because we're going on the same musical uh, path, and Jay with his more on his sound, but we're trying to change a little bit to more of the techno sounds. And the problem is, of course, and I don't blame the industry, it is what it is, but people still a little bit perceive us as people that did this big room sound, and some of the people expect us to do the same, and some of the other people just say and point the finger, this is EDM, you're on this box and you cannot get out of this box.
Mhm.
And I understand it is what it is, and I don't see any problem about it, but I've been trying to change this fingerprint since 2018, since I did Lambo. It was like
Okay.
a tech house track that I did at the time, but I mean, it's hard for the people to perceive you in a different way. because
rebranding takes a lot
Yeah,
of
because
time, right?
I think we like industry people, we see you made the change. I remember you like doing this whole announcement and like your own shows with your new sound and stuff
yeah.
years ago, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. And now we know like, oh, you're doing this new sound, and indeed it might be then for the crowd really hard to still to see that or know that it's yeah. So do you also think that's still you didn't convince the crowd fully yet, or how do you see that?
Well, I see that we did a good job so far. It's not done yet, of course. I see people that did good transitions, like Gordo, for instance.
Mhm.
He did
Yeah.
an amazing transition,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he also did something that not all artists can do, which is the social aspect of it, like relationships, like shaking hands and being there. So that part for him was very important, and he's a very outgoing guy. And what he did, he was like, if you analyze when he changed, he went to the shows of artists like Nicole Mudaber, uh, Loco Dice, Kind Music at the time when nobody knew them. So he mingled with all these artists that are a little bit more underground at the time, and gave a little bit more credibility because he started to play a little bit back to back here and there. And then everybody helped for him to get this new sound, this new identity, and you don't see Gordo as Carnage, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah. That has completely that's gone. The
right?
sound.
And also maybe the name change also helps, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Name
Yeah.
change, but I
Have you
I think
considered
also the
doing a name change?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every day I battle with that. I
oh
don't know,
really?
Ralph, if you think of that.
Yeah, well, we actually, I mean, it sounds really familiar. I can see what you're doing, and I know what we're doing. It's kind of the same. Yeah, and at some point, like 2 years ago, when they still wrote in their press, when we had a release, and in the press note was "Big Room Legends." No, this is gonna stop right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah, the hard thing is, yeah, it just gradually you have to shift the perception of people, and it takes so much effort and so much frustration. And yes, a name change will help, but we also, for us, we look at Maupi, um, but for us also, we're kind of married to the name, and we see it that for us it's a big journey, and it will take us to, I don't know where, maybe back to minimal tech house at some point. And yeah, music is always evolving, and you have to find your own little niche between big trends
Isn't it
and some, yeah.
isn't it funny though that we all know that Mau P is Maurice West, and still he needed that name change to for it to stick. And I know it.
Maybe not. I mean, if you see what he's doing, maybe it took a little bit longer, or yeah, I think the quality he puts down.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
amazing.
Either
Yeah.
way, if it was Maurice West or Mau P,
Yeah, I don't think so.
it would have landed.
I think Maurice West wouldn't have landed this way. That's what I'm
you
thinking.
don't
Like
think?
it's
You don't
no,
We'll
think?
I
never
don't think
know.
so. I think the Maurice West would have still been seen by a lot of people as, oh, the EDM guy, or the guy who also works with W and
No,
W. I think
definitely.
the
That's
Mau P
also
gave the
that's
extra
also what
push.
he, yeah, that's also what he says. And he was getting booked. He did a different thing. He was getting booked, so promoters expected him to lay down the stuff he was doing,
Yeah.
but he was not. So he felt that he had to put a stop to it. And yeah, it really worked out. But then again, all I just want to point out is that he's putting down so much quality at the moment right now. It would have landed as being Maurice West also, I think, because we'll
Yeah,
never know.
but
Well,
We'll
what
never
what
know.
that's
what
true. We'll
could
never
also
know.
really help, and that's not necessarily for the audience, but more for yourself, is that in your mind, if there's a new name connected to it, you kind of feel like there's an empty slate, right?
Fresh start. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, a
Yeah.
fresh start, and that could do a lot mentally. for
People
yourself.
and promoters are always on the lookout for this new, fresh thing. And KURA or Bassjackers or Hardway and even JoeySuki, we will never be that new, fresh
No, we're
thing.
dinosaurs.
That's something. Yeah, that's all. But
It's
to
I
start
always notice that
with,
when I Google myself or others or like, hey, people also Google this and this, and you're always and or on Spotify, and you're always in the same list of artists, and then you're like, I don't make that music anymore, but you still are always grouped with.
Yeah.
But I think that's also a thing. The perception of the crowd is something you have, in a way, very little control over. So I think it's like it just takes
Well, you do
time
have
and like
control.
and quality.
You do have
I
control. It's
You
just
have
that
no control on the perception of someone else. Like they're gonna see you how they're
well,
gonna
the
see you.
message
So
that
no,
you're
you do have
sending out
control.
influences the perception that those people have from you. So
yeah,
if
but
you
they're still gonna think whatever they
sure,
think
Yeah, I
with
think
that.
the
So it's like,
problem. I think the problem here is like we can give the perception of those who follow us, but then there's the whole world that doesn't follow us closely.
yeah,
I mean, it has the
yeah,
perception
that's
of
true.
when they heard about us in 2020 or
Yeah,
19, and then those people don't hear about us for like 3 years or 2 years, and they think, oh yeah, this guy's still the same because they don't have access to what we're doing.
yeah,
And in our head, we think, yeah, but I did all this, PR and songs and shit, but they don't know about it.
yeah.
So
I,
that's
It's
I
true.
I think it's also like what you should be focused on if you kind of like want to make a switch in that. You should be focused more on finding new audiences over
yeah,
switching the old one, right? Because the old one is there for a different reason, and
a
some of them
and
might transition with you into the new sound, but most of them will probably be lost because they
and
don't like.
newsflash, the old crowd is also old.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
We're not
Yeah,
like
they're
the
at home
fans that I had 10
babysitting.
years ago are all in their 30s.
Yeah.
They're not the crowd you wanna speak to. But I do think that's what you said, Kura, is like, um, yeah, people hear from you like, oh, that's like if they hear Jay Hardway, they're always gonna think, oh, you made something with Garrix, if they have heard of me.
yeah,
Oh, you're like that kind of music. Yeah, well, so it's hard to convince those people of
Yeah.
the new sound. But I guess it's like it takes quality, it takes a long breath, and I think that's what I'm trying to do. That's what you've been doing, and I think if the industry already sees it, that's already a huge thing, because at least the promoters already kind of are prepared for, oh, you're doing something different, so that
Yeah.
could
yeah. I
probably
mean,
help.
But Jopke, do you know what KURA is doing?
Yeah, like I said, I've
No,
seen
that's a
it.
valid question.
I've seen it before COVID, the whole switch
It's
on
like
his
a hard
socials, and I
dance,
thought
right?
it.
Yeah, but
But
what
that's
he's
why.
doing now, because he's actually doing really well.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But like that's what I mean. Like the whole switch, I've seen that on his socials happening, like
Hmm.
in real time from
Did
the
you
2018 era.
literally announce it, like literally in a video?
yeah. It was because during the pandemic, I really I felt like I didn't do enough, and it was an opportunity for us as a community to do something. And I felt like in my head, okay, so I cannot play real shows. I'm not going to do anything like live streams, try to do content, try to do, innovative shit. I just sat in my studio trying to do stuff and don't show it to the outside.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to push myself to do outside sets, try to bring brands to do. I just sat there. And when everything opened, I felt really angry at myself, like you didn't do enough. All of these people that worked during the pandemic, all of these new DJs, James Hype, Korolova, Miss
Wow.
Monique, all of the DJs, they took the opportunity and they grew their brand during the pandemic, where others like me and so many others just sat there
Hmm.
waiting. Okay, let me see when is
Same
this
here. Same
finished,
here.
you know, and I was so angry with myself, not with the exterior. I was so angry with myself that I said, okay, I have to do something impactful, and that is at least for me, it's gonna be worth it to continue this journey. So I created the brand Darkroom brand, which is a we do parties with the big branding concept. It's only pretty much, it's not 100% underground, but it's not a commercial uh, setting. It's more of tech house and techno uh, feeling. Songs. No really mashups. Not big on that. and we have like venues that are very impactful. So we did our last venue in Lisbon was like an abandoned um, printing
Warehouse.
warehouse.
Yeah.
Yes. So they used to print magazines and everything there.
Yeah.
So you have everything still exposed, and we kept the original warehouse feeling. The walls are in stone. So that's what we want to do, like this kind of concept events. And
Okay.
then the label is going to join on that also, because we grew the brand and we have like merchandising and everything. And then my sound also connected with all of this idea. um, but yeah, it was my idea, and we did actually, to respond to your question, we did a video announcing that we're gonna do
Okay.
this new brand. Yeah.
And what is it that you're running into these days? As in, the world has clearly changed over time, right? The way how you build a career has gone 180 in a certain way. What are things that you run into these days that you struggle with?
Well, for me, the most difficult thing, I would say, like some artists that are now, beginning to have their own voice and their own platform, being more hyped than like worldwide, I would say, than me at the moment. They're a little. I feel them a little bit closed, you know. So they're not really open. Some of them, of course, are not really open to play the songs, or to have like a kind of a collaboration spirit. Some of the
Okay.
some part of the industry is a little bit closed. All these new acts, I would say.
Hmm.
So I believe that was my biggest struggle in the beginning, when I was trying to push this new narrative, this new sound, and trying to, of course, make collaborations, partnerships, and trying to to do it with more people, of course,
Yeah.
because we're not alone on this. If we do it alone, we're not going to make it, right? We have
Yeah.
to
Ah,
push.
that's true. And
Hey,
in
but you're
regard,
doing. Oh, he's doing really well. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, I
last
noticed.
summer, your Are You Ready record was
Yeah,
actually being supported pretty well. I saw it in, I think, Amelie Lens set
yeah,
on Tomorrowland. And I think there's the collab with Mary Vaughn coming up, which is
yeah.
pretty big. Is it out already, or
Yeah,
it's
it's
coming?
it's out. Also,
Ah,
Emily is playing it. Deborah DeLuca, which is
awesome.
people
Yeah.
that normally wouldn't play my
No,
songs.
and that's actually that's pivotal, because look at yourself. You open your promo box, your inbox, email, you see names. You get so much stuff, so you're filtering anyway. I
Yeah,
mean, we all do it. We're all guilty of the same thing. So, but now you get this perception of, oh, maybe the KURA guy, maybe he made something nice again.
Yeah.
And that's when you get the foot in the door. So
Yeah.
it's pivotal, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Although I noticed, and the Are You Ready track was really amazing, high energy, and I think it's really working out. And that's also because you see people, just you have to pound your head against the door so many times before you get that foot in the door, and it's good to see that's finally,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's yeah, it's cool to see that the DJs are then very open to all names. You know what I
and
mean? Like
more and
because
more,
yeah, because you said Kura, like there's a lot of the other, let's say, sound that wouldn't be that much open. But I do think the good DJs will always be open to, if they have time, they would listen to every
mm,
promo they get. But it's usually just a time thing. But it is like that. It's very, that's a very good thing. And I think, yeah, live support is the thing that's gonna bring you to, well, to get gigs, but also like get like your new sound
Yeah.
established, let's say. I think
Yeah.
that's
yeah. I
such a
think
and I
huge
it's
and I
thing.
love hearing doing your own concepts and parties, because doing the hours, or putting in the hours, that's so much of a help. I think that's what defined the Netherlands as being this dance um,
Capital.
thing, yeah,
yeah,
capital of the world, let's call it that, because
Mm.
we're in such close proximity. We did 3 4 bookings a night, which
yeah,
is insane. So we
Yeah, man.
would have all these practicing hours. And also, yeah, I think, and I've been to Lisbon also with you. You
yeah,
took us out a few years back, was during COVID. and we had a very nice time. And it's also, I think people underestimate Portugal for that matter. There's a lot of cool festivals, and it's really a lively scene. Lisbon is a great city.
Yeah, it's a great city.
Yeah, and there's a lot of DJs actually living here, like international DJs. A lot, a lot,
Yeah,
a lot. There's
Willem and
Yeah, I
Wacht, or
remember
yeah,
coming to
Willem.
to Portugal for gigs in like 2014 and 15. I think that's around when we met as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And I noticed the community feel. It felt the same as Holland, the community of other DJs and exchanging mashups with those guys. And it's like I when I see you and other guys from Portugal, there's this different click. It's like also there, and it's maybe the Portuguese culture as well. What I feel like, it's there's not competition, but it's like working together, and it's like everybody's welcome, and that always felt like really, yeah, really cool culture to start something like that, just like Holland was as well. um
Yeah.
do you see that now as still in Portugal, like a new generation that has that same working together capability?
yeah. I mean, there's a couple of kids that are trying to to make songs for like a broader audience, like the world scene, like we see now the new trends of techno, like this new rave, bounce, whatever, Afro house. There's a community trying to do that. The problem is here that our club scene is dying.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
not only here; it's
It's
worldwide,
everywhere.
right?
Yeah.
But here is really dying because what happened is like there's no investment to bring acts, so they rely on the resident DJs, and it's not their fault, but the owners and the perception is that they have to play reggaeton and Brazilian funk all night.
Mm.
So if you are an upcoming DJ, like a kid trying to just learn how to play, or just trying to get a little bit of experience and trying to get a little bit of money playing, you go to these clubs and you're forced to play that kind of songs.
Mm,
For 20
I
bucks
didn't
an
know that.
evening,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
So and then you get trapped in that world. You keep playing. I can have like a second job and then pay my rent, and this is good, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, you're trapped.
Mm,
It's done for you. So
mm.
in my case, that didn't happen to me because and I was being forced to do that. Also, I was being like pressured to start playing these commercial songs back in the day. What I did is I had a regular job. I worked on Citibank. I worked on selling like TV cable
Mhm.
services door to door, and then I did the DJing that I really could play my sound.
Yeah.
So and if I couldn't play my sound, I wouldn't play. I had my other job, and that was it. And
Yeah. That took off the pressure for you to
yeah,
budge in some kind of way. Yeah.
so that's why I believe like the Portuguese scene is a little bit still behind because the kids get trapped, and the kids are not kids. The whole industry gets trapped, and there's only a few artists that really do the shows, which I would believe like in
It's
terms of DJs, like 5 DJs that perform.
Yeah, it's a thing of the club scene dying, and even like the bar scene isn't what it used to be, or maybe it is exactly what it was. Because if I'm ever in a bar, which doesn't happen often anymore, but it's the exact same songs they're playing as
Yeah.
they were like 20 years ago, like something like that. And it's like you can just predict what they're gonna play, and that makes me always a bit sad. But then again, I do think yeah, that's why it's very cool that you do your own parties. I guess that's also for kids maybe the only way to get their sound
Yeah.
out there. They like start small, start for your friends,
Yeah, that's
start
what you see happening now,
having
right? Like
raves.
they
Yeah.
host their own parties at home, they live stream them, and like they build their own brand online by
Yeah.
starting with own friends and family. How important has content been for you in the whole rebranding?
It was the most important thing, I would say. At first I was a little bit resistant, as like everybody from the old era.
How do you feel about content now? Because I know most OGs are like, I hate it. But how do you feel about it now?
No, I don't hate it. I think it's a necessary thing. I believe you have to have people around you that can give you tips and can give you ideas and can push you, because if it's not for the team that works with me, I wouldn't do like pretty much 90% of the content that I did before. And some of the content even that did really well on socials, it was just organic things. Like I was just imagine producing a song, and they were with me, and they said, okay, let's just record something, and you say this to the camera, and then we mix it with this in the club, and let's try it. And if it wasn't for me, I would say, don't record that, let me just finish or something. And
Yeah.
then they try it and it works,
Yeah.
you know. So I believe like it's also good to have somebody who gives you ideas, and you just try. And it obviously, and you see even in big profiles, some of the content that sometimes you take so much time to produce, and you think, oh, this is going to be a banger, and then it flops. And then people say, okay, I'm not going to post anymore for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Man, just post it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
It's the same with music, right? Like the tracks you spend most of the time in are most likely the ones who suck,
yeah,
and it's the ones you did in 4 hours who become the biggest.
yeah.
It's
yeah. It's
weird.
but it's like when
Ooh.
we talked during ADE Kura, we also talked about this, and I think maybe it's just our generation or something that we just had to have that switch of like, oh, we didn't grow up with social media, and now it's there, so we kind of have to. Oh, we have to do it, and like I remember my like management telling me, no, you have to, and then you kind of like trying to see, oh, this is popular. Should I do that? And not really finding my way. And then I told you as well, like lately I've realized like if you see it as a way of expressing yourself and like, hey, what do I want to show people? I want to show them this track or something that I'm doing, and I just want to express myself like that. Then it becomes not like, oh, I need to make content, but it's just like, hey, I want to show what I do.
Mhm.
And that for me has made a switch of like you also just said, like, hey, the quality, yes, I care about quality, but also I just want to post it now and just get it out there. Don't overthink
Yeah.
it. If
Be
it's
done
if
with
it
it.
flops, doesn't matter. The next day you post again. It's just like a way of expressing yourself that is actually really cool that that's here now. That maybe we missed when we were all like 15.
Yeah, it's an
So
opportunity. I noticed that like imagine if it was like in the 2015 era, if I had like a song that I wanted to promote, and I wanted that song to be big, there was two options. Either it was a track that went to spinning or revealed, the top labels at the time, you know, everything you did, like a YouTube video, instantly 1 million plays on one day. Remember those times?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
So either
Good old
that,
days.
or if they don't like the track, you're pretty much fucked, right? To be like a dance hit or something, you know, it's the opportunity shrinks, you know.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And now we have every opportunity possible. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have so many options, and to make a like a spontaneous video, and it blows
Yeah.
up, and then you have everything on your hands. You can even release it on your own because you know that you have a portion of people that like it and they are waiting for the song, and you have your, you know, kind of kickstart already there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
It's
yeah.
true. I also think like the times you live in right now has made a lot of things much easier. And yes, there's probably a lot more competition as well. But yeah, as you said, like there's a lot of tools now that we didn't used to have back then that makes things a lot more easier to do those things.
for
Um,
sure, the AI, you know, you don't have a
yeah,
vocal, you can write up something really fast just to have the flow going. You know, back in the days we didn't have that. We have to, you know, to go to Vengeance sample packs and get snippets of vocals. Then came Splice. Then everybody overused Splice. Now there's AI. So I believe
yeah,
I embrace everything just as you know, new tools,
yeah,
so we
exactly.
can move forward, right?
Yeah.
Be
Yeah, and I
before.
think the trick is also like with the new tools what worked for me because I remember like when Snapchat was there and they all said you have to use Snapchat and I didn't get it. So I was like using it probably in the wrong way and I just didn't get it. So then I stopped and I waited and then I realized after a while like this is how you use it. And then I
Yeah,
really got to like how do you say like use it properly and it really then worked and then it's fun. So also with like new stuff, don't feel like for maybe like your for beginning producers, it's like don't feel like you have to jump on it, but try to understand what it's about because usually it's like it can be really helpful instead of you have to use it.
yeah,
Yeah, because
That
now
that worked for me.
I see that as now with the AI trend. I speak with a lot of producer friends, and they have like, "Oh, Ruben, how do you use it? I have to use it because everybody's using it. I don't want to fall behind. I said, I mean, you don't really have to use it. It's just another tool. It's
Yeah.
not it's not like the best thing in the world. It's very good, but it's not gonna be like, if you don't have it, you're not gonna be able to make cool tracks.
No,
It's
Yes.
you
just a
still can.
tool
Yeah.
for inspiration. If I generate a track on AI, I'm not going to use the stems that they give me, because uh, e- even though the quality can be good for me, for my ears, and all that thing, I feel like, oh, that is not going to have the same quality as if I produce it organically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe, there's a riff there that's interesting. I'm going to replay it. There's a cool vocal. Okay, I'm gonna put the vocal now, and then I'm gonna ask somebody to record the vocal because it's really cool, and then I can maybe test it out instantly, and I can have inspiration instantly. That's how I use AI, and now I'm using it as, instead of writing a prompt, which now I'm using a different place to write the prompt, and then I put it into to Suno. But what I do also is I do voice memos onto Suno, and then I ask ChatGPT to create lyrics with my humming thing, and
Oh
then
yeah.
it creates something really cool to
Hmm.
or to my tracks. And that's been a great way for me to put out more ideas
Yeah.
instantly.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Maybe
think that's
we.
for producers. That maybe last thing before we go to the
Yeah.
questions, or I see
Yeah.
Joey is wants to push
Time
the button.
flies.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're now a producer, and like you also speak to producers that are a bit scared for all this AI. But as a producer now, we have like the, let's say, the upper hand, because we know everything about production, and then we can use the tool in the best possible way. We can know exactly how to get the best quality out of it, to take, like you said, how you take inspiration out of it. So it's a huge advantage. And the next generation will maybe not even learn how to produce, because everything is AI based. So we might forever have the upper hand to all the new new producers.
Yeah, I
Advantage.
mean,
Yeah.
and
It's
with
a very
everything,
optimistic way of saying I'm old, but
no, and with everything, which is like, now at this moment we have this fascination with everything that's old and organic. Like, let's see, everybody's loving vinyl again. Everybody's loving the tape sound again. So I believe there's going to be some time that producing a song is going to be, and now it is, available for everybody that doesn't know anything about music theory. So they go to Suno and they spit out ideas and they make a song. But then the customer, the listener, is going to want to listen to something that's produced by humans,
Yeah.
that's produced in an organic way, with tape, with the vinyl, with the warmness of the faders of the table, of the valves of. So
Yeah.
I believe that this is not the end. This is not like something drastic, like, oh, AI is gonna. I mean, that's just a new thing.
It's gonna be both are gonna be important in the world, I would say, because there's room for both. To be honest.
Yeah, like this
Um,
new Rosalia album is purely organic, and people are loving it.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah. Before we continue, I completely forgot to acknowledge the people in the live stream who are in the chat right now. Yeah.
Oh
oh,
my
Joey.
And
JoeySuki.
and I see we also got another donation from Mr. Melodramatic with the $100 coming in. Thank you very much, my
Yeah.
man.
What?
We have Grey Max here, Gerard Francis, Rob Pollard, Josh Letitia is in the house, Guy Ross, Martin Stevenson, Bit3, Lion Harris, Music IDs, Louis Teixeira, Bass Popper is here, and John and Mr. Smith is joining in as well. Welcome, everybody. We're almost at the end, but hey, whatever. We have this thing which we do every week, KURA, which is called.
And it's AI generated.
This jingle was AI created. Yeah, that's true. But we do community questions where people can send in questions into our Discord every week that we take into this conversation and we will answer. First question will go to, let's say, yeah, just take the first one. Santino Gigante. Many artists jump between house, melodic house, Afro house, EDM, and tech house. And people often say you have to stick to one genre to be truly successful, or that you can only experiment freely once you've made a name. But artists like Diplo and DJ Snake show that it's possible to explore multiple styles and still succeed. How do you personally balance focusing on one style while creating what you genuinely enjoy? And what advice would you give to someone trying to be both successful and creatively free? For KURA.
Well, this is something that I struggle also. So and I think there's a lot of people struggling with this because I really love to do a lot of genres inside of electronic music. And I feel the market nowadays is even more strict in terms of sound than it was
Mhm.
before. So people like to see an artist that goes in one lane only. So you wouldn't see like Nico Moreno doing a melodic techno house song. It's impossible, right? Because his fans were gonna go nuts, like negatively, of course.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
will
You
go
would,
nuts negatively.
yeah,
I like what he's doing. No, yeah,
you see, like you see,
yeah.
you think of Nico Moreno, it's just hard techno, and that's it. He cannot do anything more. If you see Sarah Landry, she's gonna do hard techno, a little bit of bounce, and that's it. Um, if you see, you know, if you
Kind of
see
music.
kind of music is just Afro house. They cannot
Yeah.
do melodic
No.
techno.
Frankie Rizardo with Flow.
What he's like this kind of Afro tech,
Yeah.
not Afro tech, like I would say, like a
Yeah.
tribal
Tribal
tech
tech
house,
house ish.
tribal tech house.
Yeah.
So I think there's not a big space for the artist to deviate a little bit from his style. And I believe, unfortunately, this is what it is, and we have either we accept it or we can try to break the barrier. But this is what it's laid out for us at the moment. Is you have to choose one path and go with it. Doesn't mean, of course, the examples that he said, when you get really really big, like imagine Tiesto, he's done pretty much every genre of electronic music there is. He's done Afro house, tech house, bass house, techno, you know,
Yeah.
big room. He's
But
done it all.
that's over a span of 25, 30 years
Yeah,
probably.
No, also a span of like 3, 4 years. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
true,
With
true,
Afro
Rob.
house
Yeah,
and stuff.
in the last years, he rode pretty much every sound that was there, but you only have like 3 4 guys that 10 guys at his level that can do that, right?
Mhm.
Robert can do that a little bit, like inside the electronic music. If you see Robert doing a bounce track, it's okay, or a hard techno track, or like a more EDM-ish track is okay
Or hard
because,
style. Yeah.
Yeah,
or
hardstyle.
hardstyle, because he's that big, he can do it, and his fans are cool with it because he's always tried to give a little bit different flavors to his audience, right?
Mhm.
An artist that at this moment is driving and is getting bigger, I believe unfortunately he has to choose one path.
Yeah. To become, at least to become successful, and then
Yes.
once you're there, you could start to deviate maybe, but in order to become successful, being consistent is a very strong key.
Yeah, but
Yes.
look at let's say Amelie Lens or Charlotte de Witte. They also there's more vocals in there. They also kind of pivot, since they get the main stage slots now. So it's actually the bigger you get, the more
Yeah.
room, like the guy with question said, yeah, the more wiggle room you get. But the
Yeah.
path towards that yeah ivory tower, that's one of
It's
yeah, like sticking to your it
you have
also
to.
depends on what your vision is. If your vision is that of DJ Snake, just go and pursue it, and God knows what happens. But I mean, strategically, it's not the choice with the most percentage of success.
Yeah.
Success between brackets, because what's success?
I think it's
Yeah.
important to realize what the crowd wants. Like if you say, "Hey, I'm going to go to a festival, who am I going to see that's on the lineup?" And if you look at your own name and think, "What is they're going to I don't know what they're going to play."
What to
That can
expect?
be
Yeah.
very confusing. And I think guys like Diplo and Snake, first of all, they had huge worldwide hits, so big that they kind of became their persona became kind of larger than life. And then it's like you can get away with that stuff. And it's like um that is a huge difference from a starting artist. But I think if you, even if you're at a festival where there's 10,000 people, but you have 100 dedicated fans that come to your set on the small stage, that's huge. But then those fans need to know this is what we're gonna get. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I lately have started seeing it. The last few years, like, oh wait a minute, if I go to a J Hardway show, what do I get? And it's
Hmm.
like
What do I?
I kind of know, but the crowd has no idea. So that's for
Yeah.
me now the whole
Did,
thing. But I
did you
think
see
that's as a
the
starting
clip of
artist.
did you see the clip of Diplo showing Cristiano Ronaldo his new music?
Yeah.
No.
No.
It was like.
Was unique.
It's different.
I mean,
Yeah.
for instance, is that's a good example. I made a track with Diplo in 2022, I think.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's pretty
It was
sick.
Yeah, it was kind of a tribal tech house track. And now for me, it doesn't make sense to make those songs. I know I could deliver, like, for me that's really easy to make this style, and I could make 10 tracks, no, not 10, but 5 tracks in a day like that, and send him. And I know at the time he's gonna pick one or two to make a song with me, but that's not the path that I want to go, because it's gonna deviate me from my end goal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
no, it's probably gonna harm me a little bit more than gonna help me,
yeah.
right? So
Exactly. Like the thing with building your careers is that you want to create expectations with your audience so that they know, as Jay said, like that they know that if they come to a show or if they watch one of your reels or if they listen to one of your mixtapes, they kind of know what to expect.
yeah,
They don't want to be surprised. And yes, there are certain artists who manage to build a career by doing different styles, and as Ralph said as well, like there is a way to doing that. It's just not necessarily a super easy way because,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to make that a brand if you do all of the things all at once.
one of the
Yeah.
artists that I want to mention that is doing that really well, but still maintaining in a kind of a darker lane, darker, you know, it's Adam Beyer.
Hmm.
So Adam normally he's a techno artist, of course, but he sets now, if he does an extended set, he starts with a little bit of that American tech house style, that kind of hunter sound, that kind of
Hmm.
like the offbeat bass,
Hmm.
darker sound, and then progresses into techno. So that's something that I really like and that I try to do in my sets. But still, in my case, which because I'm very much below his level, of course, but in my case, it might confuse people. So I
Yeah.
try to be very careful with that, because even though it's a darker vibe, it's much slower. So these sounds are like 132, 130, and then techno is like 135, 136, 40, 45, you name it. So
Hmm.
sometimes I think he does that very well.
Yeah, he
I
does.
see also
Yeah.
the balance part of the question from Santino about how do you balance focusing on the style while still creating the stuff that you really enjoy. Make sure the main style you choose is the stuff
Yeah.
you enjoy making the most, and stick to that style. But also just manage your time so that you have time to create stuff that doesn't need to be anything. I think that's also important. But that's basically time management. Like plan an hour a week or an hour a day or half an hour a week or a day. Plan some time where you make something that doesn't have to be anything. And I think that's how you keep that balance. I have my
Yeah.
like a lo-fi hip hop alias that I sometimes during the day switch to just so I can turn off, and like make something totally different and have some fun and then get back to the work. Because sometimes if you're gonna stick to one style, and in general in music production, there's gonna be times where you're not gonna like it, but you gotta persevere. You gotta
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
stick in
true.
there.
Next question, because time is ticking away.
Yeah, time is almost
Oh.
gone. A question from him for KURA and Ralph. With techno and tech house dominating in recent years, do you expect the industry to eventually shift towards a more melodic styles again? And if that was to happen, do you see yourselves moving into that direction as well, given your rebrand toward a more
I mean,
techno driven?
melodic techno and Afro house. I mean, there's so much melodic stuff out there. Yeah, it's already doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So,
already there. And I believe like there's a really big trend now, and I think in some way not the same, but Tiesto is. Probably you guys seen his announcement. He changed the logo again, so I
Yep.
believe my ID is gonna come with trance again, uh,
Definitely.
revamped, because he's a guy that observes. He knows the industry very well, and he's like always a step ahead. And I was thinking, I was looking, I was like, he's not doing anything. Armin on his side is doing a lot of things, like the
Yep.
front to front, inviting new talent, girls and new guys and everything. So he's very um, like doing really good stuff, Armin. So I really, I think he's doing amazing, bringing new people and new blood and all this concept. And I thought Ties was a little bit on the on the quiet side, and I think he's going to come with something really big.
Yep.
And because you see all these DJs like Marlon, what's his name, Marlon Hofstad, yeah,
Yeah.
Marlon Afstand,
and
yeah.
Kiki, and all these girls playing this kind of trancey
And
place.
also, if you take Ketama, for instance, he has this
Kind of
like
the old
trancey
school.
vibes.
Yeah,
Trancey vibes are a big
Yeah.
thing, and
It's the
Lang
old
is
school
doing it. Yeah.
2000s, right? That
yeah.
sound.
So I believe, like, my idea, I might be wrong, but Ties, I think he's gonna come with something that merges that with his old origins,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Old school,
Yeah.
like traffic and
The
stuff as
logo
well.
is his
Yeah.
99 logo or
Yeah.
something. He's already used that logo before, so
Mm.
Ah,
it's
like
it's
Lethal
awesome.
Industry.
Delirium.
Oh,
And I think it's gonna be good for him, because I didn't, and this is, it's not a critic, but I Ties for me is the biggest, one of the biggest legends in our game. But seeing him playing like Danza Kuduro and stuff like that, I mean, for me, it was not his, of course, his his cup and tea. You know,
yeah.
I think,
Mm.
of course, he tries to please the crowd and everything, but I think he's gonna
Yeah.
come with
I
something.
seen him do real cool stuff, like his adaptations of Euphoric Night and also Total Schmetterling. He actually has some really cool things that, for me, as watching as a big fan of Thijs, that's the stuff I would like to see. So I'm actually also really excited. I
I'm
think
super
trance is really back, and so yeah, I don't understand the question. Melodics are here;
here.
they've never gone away, and
Melodics are back.
yeah.
Okay, quick last question from the Lenovo for KURA. What's the best way to get in contact with him or his management team for business related stuff?
Ooh.
uh Business related to, there's emails on my Instagram,
In
and he,
the description, the
yeah,
bio.
yeah, in the bio, so he can maybe
You
send
can
an
email
email.
it there. Okay. So something we end this show with every time is the shilling hour, time, minute, whatever you want to call
Hour.
it. So is there something you want to shill right now? Is there an upcoming release, a certain show, something you want to drop?
Well, let me see. We just signed two new songs yet, yes, yesterday, actually, with Revealed. So we're trying to do a cool job with them, releasing more my techno songs, which they did a really good job with the latest ones, and I was really happy with Robert supporting, with him personally sending to Emily Lenz. It was him who sent RDY to Emily, and
Ah,
I
that's
didn't
cool.
ask for anything, so I was like, bro, no. So much, he's always been supporting me, and without me asking. So I never asked for anything. So he likes the songs, and if he feels that that's something that certain DJ might like, so he can send. And we're gonna do more dark rooms in the beginning of next year, and we're gonna release the label to, my first label. So it's gonna
And,
have the same
and the name Dark Room, because there's quite of a
no.
yeah, a history
I
to
have a
it, yeah.
certain vibe to it. Yeah.
I know it's not. It doesn't have that connotation. It's
Okay.
just,
Ah,
it's just a place that people know what they're coming for. It's more underground, and
yeah.
it has a big visual component to it. Also, with because the guy who does all the 3D visuals for me, he creates a different experience for every show. So he prepares a visual component for every show. So it's everything is thought of, the space, the interaction, those moving visuals that you feel that are hitting you in the face and everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's a different vibe, and we want to create that also with the label, to not only release my songs. I'm not the most important thing on the label. I want to build a community of people there. I want to discover new talents, new songs. I want to have a community that is gonna grow even more the brand, and that people can feel part, because we always bring talent to play the shows. So we always
Okay.
bring people to open, people to close. Normally we always coincidentally, not because of anything specific, but we always bring a girl to play. So we always try to bring everybody together and make it a community.
Nice,
Oh,
man.
that's quite a shill. So everybody who's listening
Yeah,
and you're making music that fits that vision, send it.
Start
Yeah.
sending, yeah, start sending, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Ralph, anything to shill?
No, whenever we have a guest, there's no shilling, dude.
Exactly. Okay. Then I want to thank you, KURA, for taking the time to joining us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's not that beautiful here, but it was nice talking to you. For everyone listening, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, share this podcast with your DJ friends and your family and everybody in there who's probably interested into listening this. We will be back next week with. Is there another guest? Yes, next week we have Dub Vision coming in, so that's going to be fun as well. Old school progressive, as in I saw some comments as well about progressive house. Somebody said, what was it? Was it in the Discord?
But more about that next week. You have to tune in now to know what Joey's gonna say in next
Yeah,
episode.
exactly. That's where we end. Yeah. No, next week Dub Vision. KURA, thanks for
Thank you, brothers. Thank you for inviting
Yeah,
me.
for
thanks,
tuning
man.
in.
Thanks for joining.
And we'll hope to see everybody next week again. Bye bye.